welcome to Talking Small Press Comics, episode 25, with Steve Keeter wearing a pirate's hat and a mask, which he normally does on Sundays. That's when we're recording this. He usually wears that all day on Sunday. And me, Larned Justin. So we're both here and a pirate.
Yeah, my daughter, Kathy, she went to Italy, and
Oh, okay.
she's not bound by any constraints. She can go anywhere in the world.
Everybody wears those in Italy?
I think so.
True.
So
All right.
Yep. I want to mention something before we get into the meat of the show. I
right.
found I have a DVD here.
Mm-hmm.
Copy of the Chicago Comic Convention in 1988.
Wow.
Wow, and that's I used to have it on a jump drive, and I'm trying to figure out how to copy this to the computer, but Matt Feazell recorded this, and he may have a copy that's a digital copy that's transferable, but Jim Main was there, Matt Feazell was there, Jeff Wood was there, a lot of people. There was a lot of small press people back, and it's in 1988, so it's really a historical, sort of a historical document. I was watching this one on my DVD player, Blu-ray player, and it's not as great quality as it once was. It's deteriorated a little bit, but it's still there. And if there's a way to transfer this and post this, I'm going to try to figure it out. So that's something I'm thinking about, something I want to work on. So
okay, yeah, sounds good. Sounds like fun. Yep. Okay, first today we were going to take a look at Zombie Dave #2. Zombie Dave #2 by Matt Decker. And I really like this. This is the one thing about issue #2, it explains a lot of things that I didn't know from issue #1. Did you notice that, Steve?
Yeah, I did.
It's got some, it's really cleverly done, because he waits till issue 2 to tell you a lot of these things. I just thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
And the arch enemy is in here. Richard.
What a beautiful, look at that page. Look at that.
Oh, look at the artwork. Oh, I mean,
on the double page spread there is just fantastic.
Matt Decker is very, very good and an excellent cartoonist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's his wife or his sister that does the colors, but it's
Tammy Decker does the colors and edits. So computer colors, but wow! And this entire issue was in full color.
Oh yeah. And anyway, Richard Cranium is the arch enemy.
Richard Cranium.
And it explains a lot of things, because he's been after Dave the Zombie for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And in here, it also explains how Dave the Zombie became Dave the Zombie. That's in here also.
Right. So it's kind of an origin story in a way.
Yeah. And they introduce a character, kind of a new character, I think. And that is Major Fabulous.
Major Fabulous.
Yeah. He's quite a character.
This guy is flamboyantly gay.
Oh yes, very
flamboyantly gay.
Yeah,
and he
is
so funny.
Here's the funny thing: the enemy's name, the bad guy, is Richard Cranium.
Right.
But Fabulous refers to him as Dick.
As Dick.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of innuendo going on in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm afraid to say it because
but anyway, it's in there, and it's very tastefully done and very funny. And you will also find out the other thing that I was wanting to know is William is the kind of the hero kind of guy. There he is right there with the dark blue face.
Dark blue face, yeah.
But this issue explains how he got that. The first issue, I had no idea why his face was dark like that.
Yeah.
But this issue tells you. It tells you exactly how that happened.
And in spite of all that, in spite of having a dark blue face, his wife still loves him. She's by his side the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think the blue rubs off.
Here she is getting undressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I keep looking at that panel for some reason. But there they go, madly in love, and they're living in a bunker.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's
underground.
Underground.
Way down.
I'm going to show you a panel I really think is really neat, if I can find it. I got to find it. There it is. The underground bunker is in this long panel on the right side. You can see level 1, level 2, and level 3.
Yeah.
Right in that one. And if you notice in the ground, as you go down, there are skeletons of dinosaurs, it looks like to me.
You know, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch
that.
That's pretty
deep.
Yeah, that's pretty far down.
Yeah. You go way down in there. That's where they're currently living.
Our heroes are heading up towards the top. And the reason for that is there's an intruder alert, and all of their monitors have gone blank. So they can't tell who it is, what it is. And they have to make it to the surface, and that's when the battle starts.
Richard Cranium shows up in a tank.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, this is very clever and very well done.
Hilarious, fantastic artwork.
Yeah, beautiful artwork, very professional looking.
Yeah, Matt Decker is a genius. That's all there is to it.
He is.
This is great.
He's very clever. And
this is only the second issue. Mm-hmm.
Coming up is this guy in the future issue.
Right. We got 4 o'clock sock monkey.
Yeah.
And winged gorilla, Neptune Cornelius, psychic banana, and Simeon Samurai. So we got a white. These are the bad guys who pop up at the end, and it's to be continued.
Yeah, but don't have no fear though, because we have through issue 5. This is issue 2. We also have through issue 5, and we've got a little bit too much on the show today to get everything in, so we're saving it for the next show. So be sure and keep an eye out for the next show, starting with issue 3 through 5 of Dave the Zombie. Or Zombie Dave, whichever way you want to say it.
And Zombie Dave is quite a character. I mean, he's a zombie. He made friends with
he likes video games.
5-year-old kid, and they play video games together.
Yeah. They also have a card game they play, which is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, because the cards give you access to certain dimensions.
Yeah. So I don't want to give too much away about that, but
these dimensions aren't necessarily nice places to be.
These are $5. And we will have the contact info in the description.
Worth more than that, definitely.
Yes, I think so. It's just so well done and funny. I really got a kick out of it. I really enjoyed it. So that was that.
Yeah.
You
want to get into Floyd Lewis's stuff?
Oh, yeah, we could do that. That's different.
Yeah. Well, he sent us a lot of stuff.
Floyd Lewis has been sending us stuff.
Yeah, it's all kind of loose. Stuff is falling out because there's so much stuff in here.
Here's Lost in Space Magna. Right here. And this is, I can read Japanese, but a lot of people can't. This is in Japanese.
Konnichiwa. I said.
And I think you probably read it like this. Yeah. Or, but anyway, this is entirely in Japanese, and it's Lost in Space.
Now, I don't know Floyd's history. Did he go to Japan?
Floyd does not send us any extra info.
Floyd,
He just sends us his stuff. No
Floyd, what's the
explanation.
scoop? Well, I understand there's a huge manga influence here, and how did that happen? And where do you get this stuff? This is great stuff.
Here is Spider-Man manga. Once again, this one though.
I'm looking for this.
This one is in English.
Yep.
And I know this, it's not Floyd's artwork. He has put this together.
It's manga style. Listen to this.
Manga artwork.
When Japanese student Yu Komari, not Peter Parker, was bitten by a radioactive spider and discovered that he had inherited all of the spider's ability. Thereafter, Yu adopted the guise of the amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
And here he is.
Yeah, he's upside down.
Upside down. But this is Yu Komari as Spider-Man. Different take on Spider-Man. Probably violating a whole lot of copyrights.
Yeah.
But
I guess it doesn't matter.
Great stuff. He battles Electro.
I think, there's no price on this, so I don't think anybody can get him.
A manga, could be free. I mean, I don't know, just sends
I don't know.
Send a message to Floyd, but that's not, Floyd, but that's not all.
No.
He has another version. Where's it at? He's got another version of this.
Well, we got the origin of Spider-Man right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks like a transformer on the cover.
Yes, there's a transformer on the cover. And this one is also in English, but it uses photographs.
Photographs. It looks like an actual show.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he may have, I don't know, did a screen copy from a show or whatever. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he puts in the word balloons.
Let's see what we got.
And you got a whole story here.
Okay, if you look really good on the front cover, it's kind of hard to make it out, but this one was Yu Komori or whatever it was. This one says Takuya Yamashiro must become Spider-Man. So this is another take on the character.
All the Japanese guys are becoming Spider-Man.
He does, in fact, become Spider-Man. Yep, there he is.
There's some toys on the back here.
Because he comes up against a giant. Well, there's a vehicle that turns into a transformer.
Yeah. Yep.
And it kind of is.
A lot of the photos in here are of toys that somebody has set up and photographed.
And he's got a giant monster here who says, looks like a monster with a beetle wig on. I know how to defeat a spider.
I would like to know if Floyd set up the toys and photographed them or what. Somebody did.
It looks like it's from a Japanese TV show. It looks like the whole thing is from a Japanese TV show. And maybe they have one more version of Spider-Man, one or more versions.
Then we have the vehicle specifications here. And this, of course, on the cover is in Japanese, except for the word specifications.
Specifications,
yeah.
Of various
and this
flying vehicles, etc.
Look at this. Has a price on it. $2.
Oh, a price.
Yeah. $2.
$2.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just happened to get printed on there or what.
Yeah.
But anyway, and you know what? Floyd has one of our episodes on his webpage. How about that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, he has one. He has a great webpage. Great.
This one looks like Jerry Anderson, the Thunderbirds.
Oh.
I don't know how this one got in there. Jim Main would notice that right away.
Yeah. Now, if you can read this, right here, you win the grand prize. Because even though it's possible that's in English, but it's impossible to read. So
What is the grand prize? Larned?
eyeglasses.
Eyeglasses?
Yeah.
Okay, I could use some new eyeglasses.
Well, can you read it?
No,
Well, then you don't win.
I guess not.
Anyway, there's more spaceships in here and stuff like that.
There's a little mini. Did you get this one?
I think Floyd might have drawn this.
Yeah, I think he did. In fact,
Look at this.
he signs a lot of. This is actual Floyd.
These are
So he
all
can
signed
draw.
by Floyd, so it makes me think he did draw these.
Yeah, that's Captain America over there. Look here, we got Mighty Thor.
Yeah, which means Floyd can draw pretty
Yeah,
good.
he signed it right there. That's Floyd
Yeah,
Lewis.
they're all signed.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
he really
guessing-
can draw.
And this is available at Comics and More in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Or you can get it from Floyd if you just send him something. I don't know.
I'd send him.
request.
I'd say
Send
send
him a
Floyd like
request.
$5, and I bet
Something.
you he'll send you a lot of cool stuff. That's just
Yeah.
my
I think he
my
would.
assessment.
And we will have his contact information in the description down below. But
Yeah, we love his work. Floyd, you're great, man.
yeah, just
Made my
different.
day just reading this stuff.
Just if you can read it, you're a better man than I am. But anyway, I like
That's
it.
Floyd.
Floyd is cool. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, let's go with Yeet.
Ooh, yeet.
Oh, Yeet. Yeet number 50 from March.
Yeah.
Cost
We
of
talked
paper
about yeet in our last
comics.
story.
And what I like, this is very cool. This is Meet the Sentinels. Let's do the other one. Let's do.
Well, it's
Meet
a
the Sentinels.
two-sided comic.
Yeah, it's a two-sided comic. I was gonna.
flip it over. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a different.
But
Mhm.
anyway, this is Meet the Sentinels.
Meet the
And
Sentinels.
what it's talking about here is actually Chicago in the late 30s, around 1939.
Yeah, so it has.
And they're having, after Prohibition, they thought, well, crime's over. Not really. They're having a terrible crime wave in Chicago
Yeah.
in 1939. Also, by the way, in 2022. But this doesn't have anything to do with that. That's just
Right.
a fact.
And
But
this
anyway,
is written by Mike Jones. Mike Jones is the guy who runs Yeet.
he's the Yeet.
Um,
The Yeet. I wonder what Yeet stands for. I couldn't find
don't
anything
know.
on that. Is it just letters or just a name, or I don't know?
I don't know. It does have a meaning. I think I saw somewhere.
Does it? I couldn't find
about
it.
it.
If it does, if
But,
it if it's an acronym or just the name of the comic.
And Yeet,
Anyway.
Yeet is a comic. Well, it's Yeet Presents. It's a
Yeet
comic.
Presents is the comic.
Sort of a group, but it's
Yeah.
not really a group. It's just a comic, and he's got work by some of the
Okay.
best people in small press. Also, professional artists and writers are involved.
Right.
And gosh, Tom Osakowski, he's a pro, and he worked on this story.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we got a group of superheroes here.
Yeah. Well, just to give you an idea what the story is, the mayor of Chicago decides this crime spree, this crime spree has got to stop. And he decides the best way to do it is to have a group of costumed heroes.
And you know what? They're not superheroes.
No,
They don't have
are
power.
elite policemen.
Yeah, they're cops dressed
They're cops
in costumes.
who have volunteered to wear the costumes and go after the bad guys
Yeah.
in costume.
Now, this is the closest we get to a superpower.
Yeah.
Sparkman.
Yeah,
And he's got like a couple of sparklers in his hand.
yeah. That's as close as we're gonna get, I think. Yeah. But right away, they go after a group of bad guys real early in the story, right here.
Yeah.
they go after him. And there is another member of the Sentinels, and I'm going to try to show it to you here.
Yeah.
And that guy, I
The
can't.
Black Shadow.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Well,
talking
they
about?
don't know his name. They call him.
The
They
Black
think he's
Shadow.
the Black Shadow, but he
But-
doesn't really answer to that.
Yeah. They thought he was, they think, they thought he was, they can't see because his entire body's covered with this costume.
Yeah, it's an all black outfit. You don't know what he looks like,
Yeah.
but
But it turns
he's
out, so it
part
turns
of
out
the
he's
team.
he's not on the police. He's a guy who jumps in and helps out.
Yeah,
And he's really the most powerful member
he seems to
of
be.
this group.
Yeah, yeah. So what happens here, I don't want to give too much away, but the leading cop, guy looks like this,
Right.
goes after one of the bad guys. The bad guy runs out on the roof.
He's the Dark Glove.
Yeah.
I just
Is that
saw it.
who the
Dark
bad guy,
Glove.
who the guy is? Okay.
He only has one glove. He lost one of his gloves, so he only has one glove, and it became a characteristic. They named him the Dark Glove, so he's got one dark glove. But you know, one of the bad guys, he chases one of the bad guys to the edge of the roof, and the
Yeah,
guy
he
falls
goes,
over.
runs out, runs away. They can't catch him because he gets up on the roof. And then the dumbbell falls off the roof and is hanging on by his fingernails.
And the guy the guy's very overweight.
Yeah, he's a big fat guy.
Yeah, big fat
So
guy.
this guy,
Mhm.
kind of the leading sentinel there, I think, he tries to save him. Well, that didn't work real well. I don't want to give too much away, but they're hanging by their fingertips.
Well,
here.
I'll say this much. He dislocates his shoulder. The guy's so heavy, he dislocates his shoulder. So then he only has one hand
He's
holding him up.
this fat guy with one hand. Yeah.
Right, and he's in a precarious position there.
He needs help. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of sort of a cliffhanger, but they have the second part of the story that, you know, continues from there.
Yeah, see if we can show what I think the artist changes on the second part of the story. You notice?
Oh, it does. Sure. Yeah, I noticed that too.
That's the original artist that starts the story. Then it changes to
art by Mike Wyrostik, and then Joe Wong. Joe Wong
wrote the story, I think, didn't he?
But it holds together. It's cohesive. You know.
Yeah.
You barely notice the difference at all.
No, but it is a different artist, and it goes on.
Well, this goes to show you some of the quality. This Yeet group or Yeet magazine has really the some of the finest. I mean, you're not going to see a lot better than this. This stuff is great.
Yeah.
So
it's a comic book that has two. You turn it around the other way from this to this. Victory folks, and you start reading this.
And that's the name of a group, Victory Folks.
The Victory Folks, and they're like huge superheroes, big guys.
Yep. Well, you got one called Samson.
Yeah.
And you got one called Stardust.
And this is
two big, powerful guys, and they're fighting each other here.
Yeah. This is drawn by Bill, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Loeb. Loeb?
Loeb, I guess. That's William S. Loeb. He's a professional comics writer, and
if you want to hear all about it, you have a write-up right here.
Yeah, there's a long history here.
A long history of how things developed and how Bill Loeb got into the picture and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you can see the kind of action this has.
Yeah.
It's
let me see here.
Action-packed.
There's a page here at the end of the story. It shows you who was involved with this, and you got several professional creators here. Don Simpson, William Messner Loebs, and letters by Tom this is a fun one to pronounce, Orzechowski, and of course Mike Jones.
And then Mike Jones, who is a cat herder. There's not too many comic groups where you almost always have to have a cat herder. And he's the cat herder. As you can see, Mike Jones. I know most comic companies have a cat herder. So
absolutely. Well, he puts it all together. He's the guy who makes it all happen.
Yeah.
The Yeet. And, we ordered sample copies. This is one copy. We'll talk about the other copies. The other issues.
We have more copies for the next show. Yeah. We just can't get them all in on one show, but we do have more Yeet next time coming up. So for sure, next time it's going to be Yeet and Zombie Dave.
Yeah. What happens
and whatever
here,
else shows up.
There's a lot of there's all these superheroes that are transported somehow into this particular dimension.
Yeah.
And and then it looks, and at some point somebody realizes that all the dramatic dialogue that they're saying, it's as if our every word was being scripted by the worst writer who ever lived. She says here, and it turns out, they find a door. They find a door here, with a guy behind it, and there he is. This is the guy who's writing the whole story, and they're living the life that he's writing as he writes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is the what is it? The king of comics. So they overthrow him, and they throw him out, and after that they find they find all these, they bust through the walls, and they find all this equipment, scientific equipment and everything, and they were apparently being controlled the entire time. Well, they overcome that, and then all of a sudden,
also interesting, you can see all the superheroes on one page.
Yeah,
they're all there. Yeah.
I like this old guy.
I was gonna just say the same thing. That's a great guy right there.
Old Admiral Victorious.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would look like in 20 years as a superhero.
In a superhero costume, you'd probably look like that.
I almost look like that right now, but
I wasn't going to say that. But
I don't usually wear my superhero costume on camera, but if I did.
Yeah. Well, you did kind of start out with a little costume on.
Yeah, I do have a green mask around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes back to my old videos. Oh, this is something I'm very curious. Keep looking at this. Who is this? I forget the name. But this is just a curious thing. We have kind of a young female hero here. And I'm just wondering, how does this breast piece stay on? It looks like something's missing there in the middle.
Well,
I'm not being chauvinistic here. I'm just curious.
Now, it could be that is a skin-colored costume she's wearing.
Yeah.
But it may not be. It may be the real thing.
Maybe she super glued those on.
Pasties?
Pasties, yeah.
And we better turn the page.
Yep. Here's a nice illo by Don Simpson of Miss America. Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool. Don Simpson did that.
So you can see it.
Yep, that's right here. Right page before that is.
They got letters. They got letters too.
Page right before that is. I guess the girl before she became Miss America, she looked like that. And then when she became Miss America, she looked like that.
Yeah, I think she's two different people. One has a skull face, and the other one is kind of pretty.
Oh, okay.
That's what I gather from this. She's able to transform.
And
but
this has a nice comments page and letters and all that kind of stuff. And a commercial.
So this is Yeet, and you can subscribe to this. It's like $5 a month, and it comes out every month. And you know, we asked for a sample, and they were gracious enough to send us a little bit extra.
Yeah.
One issue each, but they sent us like 3 or 4 issues. And I got to tell you, it's worth every penny.
Yeah, these
Worth
are,
every penny.
you know,
So it's
just
a
very well
fine
done.
group, a fine comic, and a fine group of people involved. Steve Shipley's involved with this, Shane Luttrell, and a lot of other extremely talented people. You'll see a lot more. You know, we'll discuss some more in the next episode.
When we start, yeah, when we do the rest of the books.
Well, this is
Yeah.
only one issue. I mean, this is issue 50.
Yeah, that's what's amazing to me.
Yeah.
They have been doing this for a long time.
Right. Every month, and published monthly for 50
Wow.
issues. In fact, we have issue 51 as well. So
Yeah, we do.
they're
Yeah.
still doing it. So
Yeah.
you might think, well, $5 a month, but it's worth every penny of it. If you subscribe to this, you're gonna see some of the finest comics in the small press or anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
So we highly recommend Yeet Presents, and
Yep.
highly recommend this.
And then we have Jim Main's
Pzit. I think I might have told this. I might have mentioned Pzit from Jim Main. The only reason I knew it was pronounced Pzit was because I met. Well, Jim and I were both at Chicago Con 1987, 1988,
and he
Jim
told you how to
in
pronounce
person.
it. Yeah.
He told me in person when we talked about the DVD, and I'm going to try to transfer that. But he told me it's pronounced Pzit.
Pzit.
And a little anecdote, real quickly. At the Chicago Con, there was a guy named Brendan Gramer who was doing comics at that time. I don't know what happened, but he was making some great comics. But Brendan Gramer was almost completely deaf, you know, like 90% deaf, and he could hardly understand. He was Jim and I were standing there. We're talking to Brendan, and Brendan says, "I know how to pronounce Pzit," and so he says, "Okay," and he goes. No, he didn't say Pzit. He said, "I know how to pronounce this."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Piece of shit." Piece of shit. And Jim was.
Jim didn't think that
and
was
he got
funny?
going, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I was just laughing.
The cover.
We didn't correct him.
Notice the gas price on the cover, $7.99 a gallon.
Thank goodness that hasn't happened yet. At least not.
But you can tell this is a very current cover. Lemonade at the little girl's lemonade stand is $8.
Yeah. With inflation going the way it is.
Inflation has hit the lemonade stand right there.
Yeah. So it definitely looked like it was heading in that direction. Who did this cover? Boyle? What's that? I'll tell you on the inside. Front cover, Troy Boyle.
Well, very clever, Troy. Yeah. Very clever.
It's a well done cover. That looks nice.
And inside, of course, we have an ongoing story of Hitchens, a Western. And what I like about this, they give you a little synopsis of the first issue and the first part of the story. Because some people, I mean, I think everybody that has a continuing story should do that. Because then you can pick it up and read it and know what's going on. So
yeah, I think you have a little bit of a synopsis. It helps you understand what's going on. Right away, you're ready to go.
Right. And this is about a bounty hunter. And
written by Jim Main, drawn by Verl Holt-Bond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great writer, great artist.
Nice artwork, very nice. And this guy's a bounty hunter, and so he collects bounties. But he collected a bounty that some other bounty hunter had his eye on. Caused a conflict.
Little conflict.
You took my bounty, you know.
Right, so he was pissed off.
Yeah, he was mad, but they decided to resolve it over a drink.
Yeah, the other guy says, "No, I don't want there to be any bad blood between a fellow like
Right.
yourself and me. Why don't we go back to the saloon and talk some more peaceful like?"
That's what
"Okay,
they did.
stranger, we can do that as long as you're buying." So he does buy. They go to the saloon, and uh, they hatch it out. They become friends.
Yeah, they actually hash it out.
Yeah.
And then Hitchens moves along. He thinks that he should join the army.
Hmm.
He thinks, Civil War is going on, I ought to join. So he goes to the first camp he can find and talks to the commander in charge there. And the guy says, "Haven't you heard? The war's over. You don't need to
Yeah.
join. The war
War's
is
over.
over."
Yeah.
Oh,
So then he's like, "What do I do now? Might as well
yeah.
become a bounty hunter.
Yeah. So
Got to
he
do something."
decides he'll stick with bounty hunting.
And the protagonist of this story encounters in the saloon, a woman being mistreated. This guy smacked her, knocked her down,
Yeah.
and apparently she's a prostitute.
Well,
But this guy
a
went
lady
way
of the
over the
evening.
line. Hmm.
Yeah. A lady of the evening.
A lady of the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so apparently this guy treated her really badly. She scratched his face. He got mad. Anyway, our hero, he's not going to stand for that.
No.
So he says, "Don't do that again, mister." Where's he at? It's here somewhere. "Don't do that again, mister." And there's going to be a confrontation, but the bad guy gets called off and has to go somewhere else. So it's like, later, but
I've
still,
got an appointment. I'll have to leave. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and
So
so it just shows you the
girl,
character. Our hero has great character.
yeah, and the girl is very thankful, and I think I would say this is her madam,
Yep,
invites Hitchens to stay at her place.
that would be the madam.
Yep. And she invites Hitchens. He doesn't have anywhere to stay, so she said, "You can stay at my place." And the story at that point is to be continued.
Yeah, and
You've got,
the lady that he rescues says, "If you will allow me, Rosie, I'd like to get this fella all settled in." So she's going
yeah,
to help him get settled up
yeah.
into
I
his
wonder
new
what that
life.
means. Anyway,
Now there is a text fiction story, and I know for people who are comics fans, they don't always want to read through the text fiction in a
hmm
zine. I always do, because if I'm going to review something, I read everything, and but it's called
Blood of the
Blood
Butterflies.
Blood of Butterflies, and this is
Yeah,
by Will Murray, and it
yeah.
has to do with
Not Bill Murray.
not
This is
not
Will
Bill
Murray.
Murray,
This is a different
William
Murray.
Murray, different
Yeah,
guy.
different guy.
Um, there's a young lady. She's apparently from Aztec, and this is sort of, I guess, takes place in Mexico. She's from Aztec heritage, and she keeps seeing these little white butterflies, and
hmm
there's something mystical about those. Um,
That's
but
her
yeah,
right
anyway,
there.
so she, the butterflies, and one of them, or apparently a goddess appears. So she's, "Are you a goddess?" And the goddess says, "I am Ixchel, once a goddess of your people. I weave the tapestry of destiny for the eyes of the gods only." And they start talking about the young lady's name is Chama, the
hmm
protagonist of this story, uh, Kukulkan. And I'm not sure if I can pronounce this stuff right, but Kukulkan was a god, but he was kind of like he's a fallen god. They kicked him out. They weren't happy with him, and she wants to get in contact. Her people, the Mayans, not the Aztecs. Okay, um, Chama still believed that Kukulkan might one day return and raise up the surviving Mayan.
And the artwork that accompanies the story is by Kevin Duncan. Nice artwork.
Beautiful, beautiful. And this
Well
story
done.
is so well written. Will Murray is a really excellent writer. It's not, overly complicated or hard to read it. It's a smooth read. You enjoy it. You can't wait to get to the end. And the end is kind of interesting, but I'm not going to reveal it.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, the young lady Chama was asking about Kukulkan, this god who was banished from the other gods, but nonetheless had a great promise for the Mayan people to restore their civilization and everything. She asked the goddess about Kukulkan, how was he like? The goddess says he possessed a splendid face like burning gold and the greenest eyes in all the world. He was a proud, sad visionary, and after his dreams came crashing down about him and his followers, your ancestors turned their backs upon him. He took to the sea to lick his wounds and shunned mankind forever. But
yeah, how about that?
Shama, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. What can I say? I mean, he's been banished, he's been outcast, and even his own people rejected him.
Yeah.
But now Shama wants to see him come back. She believes in him because one person believes in him. There's a possibility, right? And so if you get to the end of the story, I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to tell you he came back or he didn't come back, but I think it's a beautiful ending, and you'll enjoy this story as you'll enjoy the entire issue.
Yeah.
This is in fact number 49.
So Jim Main's preparing
for 50.
Yeah. Here's another part of the comic book remembrances by a number of different artists. And let me just turn the page here.
Roland Austin, Doc Butcher, Scott McClone, Anthony Gregg, awesome artists.
Look at that.
Mark Haynes. And what these are, apparently, from what I can tell here, these are recreations of actual comic book pages.
That's what I think, yeah.
Not drawn by the original artist.
No, they're drawn by these guys, but it's from the original artwork. Their interpretation of the original
Their interpretations artwork. And some pretty cool stuff.
I don't imagine with the quality of this, how could you tell it from the original?
Yeah, right. This looks like Gene Colan.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know the difference.
But it's not Gene Colan.
Yeah.
And this looks like Russ Manning, Magnus robot fighter.
There's a bunch of them down here on the right side in the bottom panel.
Yeah. So, yep. Very cool stuff. These are pages, and I've done this before too, just recreated a page that was, it inspired me.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I did, there was Avengers number, which was the one with Captain America, where Captain America came back? Avengers number 4? I think it was Avengers number 4. 3 or 4. I'm sorry. I forget right now. But
not me. I don't know.
But I redrew 3 pages from that issue, and I have it somewhere around here. I don't think it's ever appeared anywhere. But, I wasn't as good as, Kirby and, but I did my best. And that was fun. It was fun. It was a tribute to, the great talents who originally.
The Blue Beetle.
The Blue Beetle.
I was thinking you could almost color that. I mean, it's almost, you could, if you wanted to, you could color that.
And that's based on a Ditko drawing of Blue Beetle. I mean, you can tell it's not Ditko.
It's signed
but it's a darn good artist.
Trying
to figure out who did it, because they don't always sign their pages. Anyway, it's pretty cool.
Anyway, yeah, it's
ooh, yeah, that's Russ Maharis.
Yeah,
we talked about Russ Maharis just recently. There's a drawing by Russ. Whoop, that's not it. Yeah, there's a drawing by Russ Maharis.
Yeah,
one of my favorite artists ever in small press, and just a great guy. And the whole issue is
this is
terrific.
$5.25. It's the summer of 2022 issue, And let me see. Yeah, it's
Next issue is number 50.
it's going to be special.
Yep.
This has 40 pages in it. There's 40 pages in here for 5 1/4. I don't think you can go wrong. Spend quite a bit of time looking through this.
Yeah.
Which is, all these are great. And like you say, the 50th issue coming up is going to be kind of exciting.
Ooh, here's a cool inside front cover from Matt Groening. Hold it back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. I think I said before on here, I did meet Matt at the San Diego Con long time ago.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's definitely distinctive in what he does.
Yeah, he is.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, I think we've gone through everything for this episode. But like I say, we're going to be getting into Yeet and Dave the Zombie pretty heavy next episode. So,
yeah, and whatever else comes in. And keep sending us.
I've got a couple of things that I think are on the way to Steve, so we'll include those if he gets them in time. So that's something to look forward to. And other than that, I don't know anything else we need to talk about except that make sure you subscribe.
As always, it's a pleasure and an honor to receive your zines and for us to talk about your zine. As Larned said last time, we don't actually review. I mean, we sort of do, but what we really want to do is promote.
That's what we want
small
to do.
Press.
Yeah.
Well,
all of this stuff has something exciting to offer that you can't get anywhere else
in any mainstream comic.
And somebody once told me that small press stands for limited print run. That's what small press means.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but
it means to me.
Yeah, it's limited print. So you get a limited edition print art is what you're getting.
Yeah. What's interesting is because it's a limited print run, some of the small press comics that were published way back in the 1960s and 70s, if you go on eBay, you can find them, and the price is like $75 or $100 for a small press comic with a 50 print run from 1964, say.
Yeah.
So
it
just makes them more rare.
Yeah, they're limited edition art. So there you go. I started to say, though, subscribe and then hit that bell notification so you know when the next episode is coming up. And if you want your comic reviewed, or not, I just went through that, promoted, get that right, will you? You need to send me a copy and Steve a copy, which is a pain, but we don't know how else to do it. So. Anyway, that's that.
We appreciate all the folks who've been sending us their comics.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of stuff.
We're not here to get free comics.
No.
We're not here for that. We're here to promote small press. That's our purpose.
Yeah.
And I can't think of we can't think of another way to do it. If you send us your books,
I don't know how else to do it.
We'll discuss them and let people know why they're special, why they're worth ordering, and all of that stuff.
Yeah. If you like comics, we got them. So, all right, we will see you next time. And I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.